This daily market update has been brought to you by Daily Wealth Report. Trading involves risk of loss and may not be suitable for you. Past performance is no guarantee or reliable indication of future results. All advice and education content is of the nature of general information only and must not in any way be construed or relied upon as legal, financial or personal advice. Good morning traders and investors. It's Friday the 10th of August and we've seen the markets mixed again overnight for the second day in a row, with European indices barely changing from the previous day. The FTSE in front of us, as we can see, it was up 5 points or 0.1%, closing at 5851. We can see it had pulled back towards the later part of the session, closing just above the previous day's close, and that shows a real clear slowing in buyer momentum there. The German DAX was down 1 point or 0.02%, so that was barely unchanged. Showed a little bit more favour towards the selling pressure, but it was able to rally itself back up towards the later part of the session and close just short of break even. Close at 6964. Again, that too is showing a weakness in the buyer momentum that had started as of last Friday. And the French CAC 40, it was able to hold on to some slightly better gains. It gained 18 points or 0.5%, closing at 3456. As we take a look at the US markets, they too were in a very similar situation. The Dow Jones was down 10 points or 0.08%, closing at 13,165, and this really does look like a short-term sideways movement from Monday's trading through to today. And as we have a look at the Nasdaq index, it was able to gain a little bit more by activity, closing up 7 points or 0.2% at 3,018, and it's still just holding on to its short-term rally for the time being. S&P 500 index was barely unchanged. It closed up half a point, which is 0.04% at 1402. So again, very slow movement there over the last week. So quite a boring market in effect. What this has done to the VIX has actually pushed it down just a little bit further. It was only down 4 cents or 0.26% at $15.28, but it is still trying to test these short-term lows and the medium-term lows from back in March and April. So the VIX is falling off still at the moment, and until we see any negativity in the markets, that VIX is likely just to remain towards this lower range. A little closer to home, in the ASX 200 index was able to gain a mild 2 points on Thursday, closing at 4,310. Again, it had given up a lot of its gains from earlier in the session and come back later in the afternoon once the Chinese economic data had come out. The SPY futures are pointing to a 3 points higher open. That really isn't much momentum behind that. There isn't a lot of incentive from overseas markets overnight. So we could see a little bit of profit taking getting into the end of the week after such a strong rally and a nice little push up. So we'll just have to see how these markets transpire through to the end of the day. That's our update for Friday the 10th of August. Wish you all the best of trading.